My Energy Ecliptic. Love, circle persona. Self love, best love, world love. You knows my honor. Greetings. I be your host, James Peter Bastian. In peace, prosperity, power. It is my honor to share my affirmation, visualizations, and unison manifestations in all satisfaction. The mind, body, and grow is to grow in all facets. Presented in procreation, this is MB19 podcast show. May you be at peace in whatever the action is proclaiming, ascending the greatest of all satisfaction like your goals a bullseye. Your actions the dart. Believe in you no matter the ending or the start. For your life, such precious life, must you claim it. Appreciating the moments in presence. 5:15:25. Today, I sit in the moment. I'm humbly grateful. I have plethora of gratitude of thoughts, things, places, people that I send true gratefulness amongst those people, places, and things. My humility keeps me in the understanding that as driven as I am, as determined that I am, as dedicated as I am, do not deteriorate my own life because I'm looking at what I haven't completed or succeeded within my own life. 5:15:25 makes me today. I'm 35 years old. Over, over 35, close to birthday in September. So about 4.5 months from now. So yeah, I'm learning to not give in hate, and what I mean by that is that it's easy to hate yourself when life show you success. And what is success? Success is true inspiration, So for me, seeing other men, other women do great things in life, I'm inspired by it, but I'm definitely angry within my own self. I love being honest with myself because I think in our society we plague our own emotion to other people. We have therapists, we have coaches, we have parents, we have counselors, or whatever you call them, right? That comes in so many variations about helping you deal with yourself. And I think that is a great thing in life. Each one teach one, iron sharpen iron. I love the whole method of it. But I also love the appreciation of me, accepting me for who I am, the good and bad, accepting learning for who I am through life, without letting it be as determined whether if it's through a school form that I should learn, whether it's through some sort of lesson that I should learn. Realistically, every day of our life is every moment of our life is a learning opportunity. So whether it's a child showing me how to love easier, whether it's an older person showing me how to appreciate this life I live more, it all galvanized to me. And like I was saying earlier, within me being a determined, dedicated person, I have a lot to fuel me. I have a lot to be frustrated and eager about in regards to the visual aspect of what I know I can do in this lifetime and what I can manifest throughout this lifetime. Yeah, so I'm driven as that, and to a certain aspect, I am set upon my own expectation. Realistically, as well too, I know that life is it's how can I explain that? Life has its own variation of what your success will look like amongst your time in this realm. And the coding that point would be to me is that dedicated, I'm driven, I have high expectation for myself, and so on and so forth. But even through a lot of the things that I need to accomplish, uh, it's naturally mirrored to be accomplished, not just for myself or by myself, but it's a mirror accomplishment from people, placing and things that I can astound, right? So I give in the simplest term what I mean by that. So as a male that's that's looking to be a father one day, right? My fatherhood is not established without a woman playing the role, the motherhood in that situation. So even having to create kids, right? It takes that. Even creating business, you need the consumer. You need someone to sell you. You need the business partners to do such with. So realistically, life. That's why I'm so humble and about life, because it's like you can have a narcissistic view of life and say that you're doing this or you're running this, but realistically, if you know, you know, you're not. You're not. So for me, it's all about having a great energy. It's all about having a great mindset, right? It's all about really being able to visualize my time. And what I mean by visualizing your time is that whatever you're doing is a vision. You know what I'm saying? So if you're unable to see what you're doing as a vision, that means 9 times out of 10, you're just kind of walking yourself in an assembly line and being told what to do, right? Because as someone with a vision, that means these insights of your actions are coming from within you, right? So whether it's the voice within speaking or the eyes within looking from the third eye view of this is what needs to be done, if you don't have that mindset, then most of your thoughts and your actions align with your surrounding. It's the outer actions, right? You're more aligned to be controlled amongst what is good or bad based on a society perspective, rather than you learning from your own self, right? Having power within your own mind and soul is having a duality amongst what life means, amongst that duality that changes inevitable, amongst the perspective that what works for me may not work for you, right? So in that gray area, you understand the the perception of what things are, but you also took time to bring a meaning to what those would mean to you, what those are to you, right? So that's where I'm at with it, and I'm appreciating the moments that I have in the presence. Just because also when I think about this and what really got me to start this podcast, if I can be truly honest, was not starting the podcast, I should say, starting this episode was me looking to eagerly align myself with my purpose and knowing that I have more work to do to get to my purpose. It's not easy. Um, you know what? It's my life, so I appreciate it not being easy in the sense of like I'm gonna make it easy. You know what I mean? So I gotta find better ways to make things that seem to be stressful be more joyful, right? Things that you don't like to do, you learn if it's a commitment for the better you gotta love it, right? Maybe you hang around co-workers that you're not really intrigued with amongst that, right? So you put down a goal, you set up different tasks of you knowing that you're able to complete, so that way when those moments align with you, you know that nothing can something can stop it, but you know that your energy and your emotion is to make something happen. So you may not be able to be the one to pretendly do it yourself, but maybe because that energy is so positive, you get the universe to bring you help. You get the universe to educate you more among that topic because you're putting much time towards such thing, right? You're able to get better at it, right? So it's so many different opportunity when it comes to evolving your own mindset to what you like, you know, finding out what your don'ts are. And the thing about the gray area that's beautiful is that, like, when you hear or learn what is or what's not from other people, what you fail to realize is that you're naturally trying to convey yourself off somebody else's playbook, what would be successful for you. So majority of people that look into success and they follow other people's guidelines forget the best thing is that when you go through an experience, right? Let's say you try something today and it's the best thing you tried. Let's not even say a thing to try, but you did something and you did the best, right? Whether you did it the worst, what you fail to realize is the same opposition of doing it the best, which means that if I did something wrong, then my mind should utterly get back to me like, okay, this is wrong, right? So slapping somebody because you're hungry while waiting for your food, right? You didn't know that was wrong, but you found out that was wrong after you slapped that person, and everybody in the store looking at you like, "Are you crazy? Don't you understand that was totally disrespectful?" But before that, you thought that was a norm thing, right? So before that, you thought that was a norm thing, but seeing other people's reactions, seeing that person that you slapped either get mad or either call the police or either want to slap you or punch you or shoot you, do something worse to you, right? That would normally teach you this ain't the thing to do. So the example that I'm giving is do your best to just go off your own experience, right? We all need one to teach one, right? But however, I can give you the idea of something, but I can't tell you what that something would mean to you, right? That's like us all going to take a view of the picture of Mona Lisa, and I stand in front of everybody and say, this is what's important in this picture. Look at this detail. Everything else don't matter. Look, she's fake smiling. I don't think that's a real, like, that's all my perception, right? So it would be very wrong of me to convey my perspective of my truth to everybody else in this world. And that's what you kind of have in a lot of things, right? Even with education, there's so much time, whether it's scientists from such and such time frame, this was to be this, that was to be that, right? And then years down the line, 20, 30 years down the line, they found something new. But if it's something that go against what the hypothesis of what the normal scientists would say, they 9 times out of 10 would shut down the new idea because it's like, no, you're utterly wrong, right? So that's a part of life. People are naturally groupies. What I mean by that, because most of us are not leading our own soul, we follow what other souls do, right? So the rich man gets more followers because people are like, oh, he know how to get money, and his way is the best way. The athlete, right? He know how to train because this way is the best way. The beautiful woman, she know how to stay clean. It's so we utterly give our power up to people time and time from just the simplest thing, right? You find a woman or a man to be beautiful, you treat them the nicest. You treat them more nicer than you treat your own fucking self. That is so uncalled for. That is totally wrong for your own livelihood amongst doing, you know? So with this episode today, it's really just me sticking to the moment and appreciating my surrounding. Normally I go off a direct topic and things like that, and that was a topic that really just clicked for me today. Um, I'm a little fatigued in a sense. I've been working. We all been working, and I guess I'm saying that statement because I appreciate work. I appreciate working because I know I have less time to just sit around. Makes me happy, to be honest. Like, the more time that I would sit around and think about what I haven't done, what I haven't accomplished, and still to that point, there's a lot that I haven't done, that I haven't accomplished while I'm busy with work, right? Because I'm on somebody else's clock and I'm succeeding somebody else's goals in life rather than mine. I'm also understand that I'm setting myself up for the future that I need and desire. Um, so with dedication, with commitment, it takes heed with the idealization of you being disciplined. Staying up to par to knowing what you want. Nobody else can see but you. Knowing what you want, maybe one of one. Nobody can give to you but you. But it's so damn fucking worth it for me to give to myself. So I will fight to my death, my last breath, to receive those opportunities that I know Mr. Peter Bastian Jamez is who is I shall receive and be. I think also for me in this time of appreciating myself, I want to just give thanks to the world, give thanks to the universe. I'm a beautiful man. I may not be the most beautiful man to every woman, which is fine. Um, Maybe the one I think is beautiful may not think I'm beautiful, which is fine also. But I know my value, and it's my mind, body, and soul. I don't give it into nobody, and I will never let that go. And for most people, when you think about it, it's like they give up their soul in order to receive something in return. It's like offerings almost. Like I, as a God myself, as a spiritual person, we're in a world where you have so many people that do so many different practices. The practice of voodooism, the practice of different religious beliefs, the practice of non-beliefs, whatever it goes on to. And then with those beliefs, we have the actual actions of those practices, like whether it's a sacrificing of certain material to give to such and such God and so on and so forth. I get it. And my statement, and I get it, is that when you're not as powerful, let me not say that because I think that was a little vindictive from my end. I get it from the perspective that lost souls just wants something to be found in, right? And those things can normally, obviously, you can confine only as humans by people, placing in things. So, and those people, placing in things, most lost souls confined into an identity or idea that was written or established by someone else. Whether because they feel potent, they feel it potently, or it could be within their own intuition that sometimes being reminded by that particular person, place, or thing, where it revives you to that actual belief, whether it's voodoo, whether it's direct a personal religious belief, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, I I don't blame them, nor do I judge those practices. Only for me to be transparent, I say that as a man that's born into the blood lineage of African, Nigerian, I guess also known as the world Haitian or the land of IET. So my bloodline traces from a lot of depth voodoo, a lot of depth ancient knowledge, a lot of depth ancient civilization and doing and being, to where I can't argue that. For me to tell you right now, as a man that don't practice voodoo, a man that don't practice any like sorcery, like like oh this stone if I touch is gonna like I'm not that type of person. I'm a real God of God from the perspective like I see life based on my thoughts. I see life based on my actions. You know what I'm saying? I try my best to stay in present. As a spiritual being, as a spiritual divine being, I'm aware that with my mind, I could align my mind anywhere in this universe. I could literally be anywhere as I'm talking right now. But I also understand that that can bring a lot of incognitive, I should say, thoughts, right? Thoughts that's not necessarily in pursuing and growth, but actually thoughts that would have me more uncertain about the life that I'm living. So my whole perspective and statement now is me being concrete to myself. So some of the things, if you've been listening to me, you'll hear me say affirm, visualize, manifest, peace, prosperity, power. These are things that I've learned based on my experience and different knowledge of me educating myself that like the best thing I can do is to not give up my power, to not give up my spirit. And like I said, I can't blame anybody that's into voodoo, into any sort of what they call religion or spiritual practice. But I know in any of those forms, you're giving up something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's literally telling you in the same time, like, hey, I need this offering in order for you to get this. And I think for most people or for all people, we are our mind based on what our mind believes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, my strong hold on my thought process is kind of like how I look at not drinking, not I won't say not drinking, but not being a big drinker. Like I don't drink liquor on a daily basis, or even on a weekly stuff like that. But I here and there, depending on the situation, I may take a drink. But in my statement in saying this is that I've learned for myself the accountability that I have with liquor is that I act and then my thoughts react to my action. And that to me is me being second place to my own spirit. And that's not an interest of mine. You get what I'm saying? So let's say, oh, this life of mine is telling me that I can get kids, I can get $1 million, this, that, and the third, but I gotta pray to this deity, this God that was written about, and I gotta offer this or that, I gotta say this or that. For me, that's not my feng shui. It's not something that I feel I'm attainable to be in control of. I feel that I'm obsessed that I could tell you for sure was written for me to do. And to that certain aspect, I don't blame anybody religiously or spiritually for whatever they practice because, again, I could be naive. I could be fully wrong. Like, my bloodline is Yoruba Benin, like Nigerian tribe, right? So from a lot of the actions that I know Nigerian people to do, I'm so far away from that lifestyle. I'm so far away from that mindset, right? So the complication comes for me is that, like what the statement is, like, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. What happened in Vegas, stay in Vegas, right? So I, to a certain degree, feel like maybe I'm living in the wrong life, right? Because I'm not generally living by my blood lineage, maybe culture, but at the same time, my spirit, which is over my body, right? Which is over my flesh. And what I mean by that is that my flesh is a melanin African man, right? But my spirit is God, right? So the spirit of mind being divine reminds me that anywhere on God's green earth I am great, right? So it's not just the culture of being Nigerian that makes me a man. It's not the culture of being Haitian from Haiti, the Haitian Revolution, all that makes me. It's the culture of being a man's man. And what I mean by that is the culture of me understanding that I'm a great man in any form or any time, right? That I could be any man in any form or any time, in any religion. So rather than keeping it direct to my religion, upraising, direct to my skin color, my godly temple look at life from the universal view, right? So me having a universal guideline to the infinite, it's hard for me to play on what was done yesterday or did yesterday without actually knowing what was done. And for a lot of those actions when it comes to the spirituality and the religion perspective that people practices, it's all he say, she say. You know what I'm saying? I've had experience with, like I said, simple stuff like crystals, stones, right? And for some people, they get admiration like, don't let nobody touch your crystal, don't let nobody touch your stone. They all about energy. This and that can happen if somebody, so many different mishaps. And for me, I thought that's what it meant first until I experienced my own self. And for my own self, what I've learned is that it's like the statement of saying, whatever I touch turns gold. That's the way I look at crystals and stones and stuff like that. They all energy filled, right? But the energy that's filled within it is not an energy that we all can agree what that energy is that. It's upon our feeling to then convey an energy behind towards that crystal. So what I learned is that you can attempt to curse my crystal, you can attempt to do whatever nothing will work because my mindset and energy is not to that, right? But if I was to actually believe that, which is don't let nobody touch my crystal, or if the person look at my crystal, this, that, and the third, right? So think about that statement of me saying don't let nobody touch my crystal. Boom. So now, the moment that does occur, right, when my crystal is touched, what do you think happens? I'm naturally freaked out, right? And what do you think I'm freaked out about? The possibility of the negative things that can happen because you touch my crystals. And guess what? Our mind is a fucking terrible thing to waste. Our mind is the creator of our present and the future. You know what I'm saying? So you believe in that, you're gonna curse yourself and then actually point it on somebody else, not realizing you literally just fucking curse yourself. You know what I'm saying? So for me, accountability, ownership is all on me. If I gave somebody time who did me wrong, whether relationship, friend, whatever, it's on me. That's my accountability, right? Because if I keep having an excuse, or if I keep an illusion that like you did me wrong, you was in the wrong, right? I'm a constant victim in my own life. Like, what power do I have in my own life if I'm constantly telling you did me bad? I expected good for you, like, from you, and you keep doing me bad. Like, I'm doing myself wrong. Be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Be direct to your life. So that's the way I'm going about it in all ways, I guess I could say in that perspective. You know, just be direct to my life, and I'm gonna live and die by it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I know to do. So that's what and that just is what it is. You know what I mean? Shortly, I just want to convey a thought, and the thought is this: no help comes without fee. If you take the emotional factors of what you think, me personally, when I really look back, I never got assisted because somebody wants me to grow. I know I gotta must be used. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of life. If you don't have something to offer, then what is it that you're giving back, right? So you heard me say LEG, which is an acronym for me, which is learn, earn, give. What you learn from is what you can earn from, and what you earn from, you can get back to, which makes it a repetitive cycle. So for me, I understood that, like, especially as a man, like, your value as a man is your resource, and resources are what you're able to provide back to your society to use. You know what I'm saying? So I gratefully thank life for not making me over emotional about what is or what's not. I know my role as a man, and that's remaining logical in all areas. You know what I'm saying? Not just obviously the emotional aspect of decision making, but logical amongst your principles, your morals. You know what I'm saying? Staying 10 toes down to those. And what you learn is what goes around comes around. And when you do what's right for you, but wrong for them, that's naturally you'll be shunned as like you don't never do enough. So realistically, just do what's enough for you, and whatever limited or available time that you have else to do for anyone else, it'll all work out. But the moment you want to give everybody else things done and forget about you, and then you're gonna be mad at people talking about, oh man, all I do for stop doing for them and do for you first. Stop that. And I don't know why I yell like that, but that was a passion of passion of the Christ came out of me. Boy, stop. Good God, man, I love myself. But in all honesty, man, again, today's episode was literally me being here on the day of May 15, 2025, on the eastern side of the hemisphere, located on the bottom map of the United States, the great state of Florida. I'm just appreciation. I'm just appreciating my journey, and through the good and bad. A downfall is no downfall until you give it acknowledgement to be a downfall. You know, so I'm on the come up. Actually, I'm up right now. You know, so how you're up, how you come up, how you're down is all your perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because 100,000 to somebody that valuing themselves as a billionaire is no sort of money. You know what I'm saying? But also having that 100,000 with a mindset as a billionaire it's a gratification of your own dedication, and you gotta stay committed. You know what I'm saying? Stay humble despite not having all that you want. It can be a lot worse because that 100,000 could be zero. You know what I mean? So in all, man, stay graceful. You know what I'm saying? Stay humble. Stay potent. You know what I'm saying? Being humble doesn't mean that everybody your head is down. Everybody get to do what they want to do. Being humble for me is just really you having an admiration in life in regards to, like, you may want things to be done a certain way, this, that, and third, but it may not go that way. So you remain humble. But your persistence doesn't change. Your persistency doesn't change. Your commitment doesn't change. Your care doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? Your desire doesn't change. So for me, in all phases, it's all about having a great balance of humility, but also being a conqueror. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love conquering. I love that, being a man. Not talking no freaky shit sexually, but just I don't have to give my dick to every pussy, and every pussy don't have to give me their pussy. You know what I'm saying? I love the mutuality of that. I love a wet yoni that's excited, and me being excited because I get to be with that woman that I desire, and my penis erected. You know what I'm saying? I'm not intrigued into the drunk sex, which is it's gonna feel good because it's anybody. I'm not intrigued with the idea of, like, I'm fucking for a number no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, maturation for me is like it's a big key in my life. I love learning something and finding better ways to do it, and that's sex. That's friendship. That's business. That's sleep, however you name it, you know what I'm saying? Dieting, like I'm all about growth, you know what I'm saying? And it's something where I've learned that that's not easy. Not because not everybody in this world want to grow, you know what I'm saying? And not everybody in this world want to really take accountability for their life. And so for me, I don't mind that shit. You know what I'm saying? I really started from the bottom, and I'm not the type of person to like put on. I did. I'll be honest. I definitely put on prior. You know what I'm saying? But I learned. I'm a Zill, man. I'm from the mud. Like I can't. I'm not here to waste this beautiful life that I got. I'm actually here to create my beginning legacy. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking legacy before I was old enough to understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? Thinking baby, kids, family, future, all that in my early, 12, 13 years old. And that to me reminded me that like my manhood is upon my definition of what my manhood is. No man can ever uh, devalue me or overvalue me. Only I can. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing for me is staying 10 toes to the life that I'm looking to live, not what somebody else tell me I can or not. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's a lot of you know what I'm saying today. So I think you know what I'm saying. That might be it. But much love again. My name is Jermaine Peter Bastion. I humbly and gratefully appreciate you taking some time and listening to another episode of our beautiful podcast. And I say ours because it's mine as yours is mine. You know what I'm saying? MB19 podcast. Again, let's keep our daily ascension of affirming, visualizing to manifest the goals of our mindsets and in our daily for every moment, it's peace, prosperity, power. Again, Jameis Peter Bastion. What the hell I say my name is Peter Bastion? Y'all keep laughing at me. I'll laugh at myself too a bit. Peace. I'm out of this bit.